I think almost everybody's favorite is a BLT. I'm turning it into a salad, but a little bit different, a little brighter with those summer fruits. We're gonna grill some peaches. I'm gonna have them take the pits out and just gently grill them. Then I'm gonna make a buttermilk sour cream dressing with some fresh herbs and a separate vinaigrette. One of the things we love about going out to restaurants or at least I do, are their salad dressings. Well, often there are a fair amount of calories. You have to make sure if they're using sugar. Sometimes a good idea is that you can make it at home, both a little bit of this and a little bit of that for balance. So I have a creamy gorgonzola cheese that I think goes perfect with warm peaches. And we will brighten up this rainy Monday with a great grilled summer peach and BLT salad in just a few minutes. So I'm going to take about a half a cup of whole sour cream, and it's because we want the thickness and the consistency of it. I'm going to add some buttermilk, about 1/3 of a cup. Of course, our recipes are always on mysuncoast.com. You just have to click on the dining page and you'll see them there under recipes. Okay, so this is about the consistency that I want. Now I'm going to add some shallots, and then I'm going to add some fresh chives, all right? Now, to give it a little bit of acid, I really don't want to use a fruit like a lemon or a lime in that to take away from the sweetness of the peach. Just a little red wine vinegar is going to do it perfect. And now I'm going to take the gorgonzola. You can certainly use blue cheese as well, but gorgonzola has that real creaminess that I love. And I just think often for dessert, I'll just grill peaches and fill them with some dried cranberries and gorgonzola cheese and then stick it under the broiler for a minute. This is basically done, other than a little salt and pepper. And we've got that going on. Now the next step in this, because we're gonna let it sit for a little bit, and by all means this can sit overnight. This just makes a wonderful gorgonzola salad dressing. That's done. So let's talk about the vinaigrette. Super easy as well. I call for white balsamic vinegar, but don't worry about it. If you don't have the white, continue to use the regular balsamic, but cut it with some red wine vinegar, okay? So I'm gonna use that. Dash your red wine vinegar. Then I'm going to add some herbs. I'm going to put some of the dill over there and a little bit of my vinaigrette. I have some flat leaf parsley that I can put in here as well that's just chopped. And then, of course, more shallots. Now, I cook with Dijon mustard a lot. You can use a little dab of honey mustard if you want, but this really enhances the flavor without it being too strong. And then slowly, I'm going to whisk in olive oil. And you don't need to make a lot of this vinaigrette. I don't buy pre-made salad dressings. I make everything homemade, so I tend to make double or triple batches, just so they'll last the week. So when my husband takes his lunch, and hopefully it's a salad, he'll have the salad dressings. When we come back, it's time to take the peaches off the grill. They're looking just about tender. We'll chop up the iceberg and we'll start composing this great and simple salad. A lot of people don't like blue cheese, and by all means you can just omit that. You can make a nice buttermilk dressing that's more of a ranch style and leave it at that. So these delicious grape tomatoes, I'm going to take about 1/3 of the vinaigrette and I'm going to just toss the tomatoes in that. Let them marinate a little bit. And of course, you know, just a reminder, I'm sure you probably know this, but tomatoes taste better if you don't refrigerate them. Okay, so just leave them on the counter in a cool place and buy what you need. So you don't have them for more than a few days, but doesn't that look great? Just like that is, just like that. So now let's bring in some more flavor, and let's just, whenever you see the term chiffonade, what it means is you just roll up your basil leaves, and we're not going to use the stems. We use the stems in cilantro, but not so really on basil. And we're going to just sprinkle that into the tomatoes as well. Let that sit there for a minute. Now, I always joke because I say, I know, iceberg has absolutely no nutritional value. Not only is it just 99.4% water, but it's just also over the years, it's just been grown that unless you get a version of an organic, it really doesn't have nutritional value, but they're so good in a summer salad. So you can certainly, by all means, you could substitute romaine in this Typically in a BLT sandwich, I happen to use iceberg lettuce. So again, the thought, but yeah, think out of the box a little bit for this. So I've cut it in halves or quarters, and then we're gonna cut it really pretty thin. And that looks like this is probably gonna be enough to go. What we're gonna basically do is put that in with the tomatoes, okay? And then we're just gonna season this, the lettuce right on top. That will draw out a teeny bit of moisture, which will be perfect for those tomatoes. There we go. All righty. Now, take a set of tongs, and just kind of toss that a little bit. And then use whatever else that you like. You can stay true to the recipe, but you know, I'm always looking for more texture and crunch, so I'm going to use some raw almonds and a little dried cranberries. I prefer to use the kind that are only dehydrated fruits without getting into the sugars and corn syrups and sunflower oil in that. I have some leftover chives, so I'll do that. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna gently toss in some of the vinaigrette and some of the buttermilk dressing, and then I'm gonna present it with the grilled peaches, and ooh, it's summertime. So good, even in the rain. I'll be back for a tasting in just a few minutes.
Back in the kitchen with Judy. I'm so glad that you did something with peaches because they're still so good right now.
Oh, they are. We've got a few more months, and you know, you just warm them up slightly. Stone fruits, and John, I was a little leery. I didn't put a peach on your plate because I didn't peel the fuzz off, and you and I
got a problem with that. Yeah.
John and I both have this aversion to touching peaches because of the fuzz. You can
I literally
use nectarines.
I literally have to wear gloves.
And even then, that's still, ooh. You can use nectarines or plums in this recipe as well.
Delicious. And the salad dressing, fantastic.
Thank you.
Recipe on our website, mysuncoast.com.